Alright, let's dive into Surrogates, where everybody's got a robot to do their dirty work. We open with a rich kid rolling up to a party, but some shady dude is tailing him. So, rich boy goes into the club solo and strolls out with this robo chick, and yeah, they're about to get freaky. But surprise, stalker dude from earlier pops up and straight up nukes Barbie bot with a damn flashlight cannon. Where the hell's his driver? Kid's supposed to roll VIP, not Uber himself. Enter Bruce Willis FBI edition. First thing out of his mouth is basically, why the hell am I here? I got better shit to do at home. Cop dude breaks it down, rich kid's toast, they walk over to check the body and, oh my god, what the fuck? Well, rich kid's gonna need a new robo now. They can't even ID him because the chip fried right along with his brain, crispy as hell. But hey, they did ID the robo girl, turns out her name was Cameron. So Tom and Peters roll up to check on Cameron, because normally when a surrogate croaks, the human stays chill. It's just Wi-Fi Barbie cosplay. But when they get to her place, which looks like a wig shop threw up, they find out Cameron ain't a girl at all. It's a dude, and not just any dude. A dead as hell dude. Like respawn, not available, dead. Peters calls it in while Tom checks the feed. Nothing there, except rich boy twitching like he's buffering on bad Wi-Fi. Tom heads home, plugs his robo into charge, and grabs a bite. By the way, that's his wife. She's pissed at him for reasons the movie didn't tell us. Next day, Tom goes back to the office. This here's Andy, his boss. Andy doesn't want people finding out that a bright-ass flashlight can melt your brain like cheese, so he orders a full media blackout. Real shady vibes from this dude. Now Tom and Peters are digging into the flashlight dude case. That's when Tom gets a call from some random dude who drops the bomb. The dead rich kid? Yeah, he was the son of Lionel Cantor, the genius who invented these Wi-Fi Barbie dolls. So Tom and Peters roll up to see Cantor and ask why they couldn't ID his kid. Cantor explains he owned more than one robo and had lent one to his son that night. Turns out the killer got confused, aimed for Cantor, and accidentally fried his kid instead. So now Tom and Peters go to BSI headquarters to talk to the Welsh guy who is the boss of BSI. Tom starts asking questions, but these bitches don't let him because they're his liars. So Tom politely says,
for all I know, you could be some big fat dude sitting in a stim chair with his dick hanging out.
On their way out in the elevator, Tom presses the R&D 4 button, and there they meet this doctor-looking guy who actually looks like this. Tom asks him what kind of ass-blasting weapon can melt the brain of a robot and his host at the same time, and he tells him about some robo-soldiers that died the same way and their chips were missing. Now Tom goes to see this general, or was it a colonel? They didn't tell me the rank. Anyway, he asks him about the weapon, and Soldier Dude tells him there is no such weapon, and if you'll just please, yay! I have a gaming zone to run with real soldiers. Back at the office, Peters digs into the flashlight dude and finds out his name, Miles Strickland. Dude had been arrested for arms robbery and then got released, because someone from inside is helping him, probably some shady dude covering his ass. Now Tom and Peters head to this high-tech spot where live robots are eyeballing every feed. These guys make Wi-Fi Sims bodies, but apparently can't figure out facial recognition software. The moment they walk in, this fat dude spills the location info. Tom bolts after him, leaving Peters behind. That's when she learns they can remotely shut down all the bots from here. Handy and terrifying. The cops are chasing after Miles, and Tom's in a helicopter tailing him. Tom lines up the sniper shot, but Miles dips into an alley, taking a sharp turn, and Tom loses him for a sec. When the cops try to pin him down, Miles pulls out that ridiculous flashlight cannon and fries their brains on the spot. And yeah, he hits Tom too, but Tom barely escapes by unplugging from his bot just in time. The pilot? Not so lucky. Now the helicopter's careening straight for a dread zone. The helicopter crashes right into the dread zone. Tom reconnects to his bot by slapping his Wi-Fi headphones back on, but his arm's gone. He's now rocking full-on Terminator vibes, like that dude chasing Sarah the whole movie. Problem is, the dread zone folks hate bots, so they start chasing Tom. Meanwhile, Tom's still on Miles' tail. He almost catches him, but a truck smashes into Tom. Then he's shot in the chest and finally in the head. Back home, Tom is bleeding from his nose and crawls out of the room, but then he goes unconscious. After a while, his wife comes back, finds him passed out on the floor, and calls an ambulance. Meanwhile, at the dread zone, the Prophet meets Miles and grills him about the flashlight cannon, which he shouldn't even know about, since Andy doesn't want anyone knowing it exists. Miles just shrugs and says he got it from someone he's never met, and they always talked over the phone. Now, the Dread Zone folks are losing it. The truce was simple, no bots allowed in their territory, and Tom just broke it. Everyone's going nuts. Tom's in the hospital when Andy shows up. He lays it on him. Because of him, the Dread people are losing it. He's suspended until further notice, and no new bot for him while he's grounded. But of course, Tom's the main character. He just walks out of the hospital as his real self, human Tom, strolling like it's no big deal. He meets Peters and tells her he's going to track down the Prophet. Tom heads to the Dread Zone and discovers Miles is dead. The Prophet is giving the eulogy. After the funeral, Tom approaches the Prophet to ask about Miles' sudden death, but gets absolutely f***ed up by some dude. Turns out, this Prophet is seriously shady. And yeah, he's got the flashlight weapon. Outside the Dread Zone, Tom runs into Cantor, teenage boy bot version, who fills him in about Miles. Apparently Miles killed Cantor's son, but now Miles is dead. Cantor drops Tom back at his place where some dudes are apparently doing bot drugs. Yeah, they somehow invented bot stoners. Tom loses it, starts smashing this dude's face, and bounces out. Next, Tom hits the office again to dig into BSI's military-grade weapons. He uncovers a canceled contract for some kind of secret weapon. Meanwhile, the A-shady dude goes to Peter's home, kills her, and takes over her bot. Tom goes to see the soldier guy again to ask about the canceled contract. Soldier dude refuses at first, but Tom's persistent. He drops the hint that he knows where the weapon is. Finally, soldier guy spills the beans. That it is a weapon to end the war or something like that. Tom tells him that the Prophet has the weapon. But here's the kicker. The Prophet sends the weapon to Peters even though it's not her bot anymore. Probably some inside guy working for the Prophet. Soldier dude heads to the Dread Zone with a bunch of other soldier boys to retrieve the weapon. Bullets start flying everywhere. Chaos mode activated. Plot twist? The prophet gets shot, and guess what? He's a robot. What the f? Turns out it's Cantor in disguise. It's like Bill Gates making Windows Defender at the office, but secretly coding a virus at home. Classic evil genius move. Meanwhile, Peters, or maybe the killer dude using her bot, meets up with Tom, drops the bomb. Miles was actually working for Andy. I knew that was shady. Turns out Andy is working for VSI. They hired Miles to take out Cantor, but since Cantor's son was using a Cantor bot that night, well, Miles accidentally roasted the wrong target. Tom goes to see Andy and straight up disables his bot by stabbing his head and ripping out the chip. Then he hacks into Andy's PC and gets all the gory details. Andy's shady connections with VSI and info about the weapon. Andy calls the office to try stopping Tom, but he's already bounced with Peters. Peters tells him to find the code to activate the weapon, and of course, Tom does it. Why the hell did you do that, you historic jackass? Didn't you get a little suspicious? As soon as Peters gets the codes, she crashes the car, calls the cops on Tom, and grabs the weapon. Tom's passed out, but he quickly wakes up and chases her in the same car. Since Peters is a bot, she escapes, and Tom crashes straight into a shop, but bounces out before the cops arrive. Now Tom steals a car and calls that surveillance dude, but Peters is already there. Bobby says something to Peters to let Tom know she's present, and he's handcuffed to a metal pipe on the table. Somehow, he even manages to answer the call. Peters asks to talk to Andy, alone. Andy goes inside, thinking he's slick. Peters confronts him. I know you're working for VSI. Andy starts yammering some dumbass excuse, so Peters nukes him with the flashlight cannon. Meanwhile, Tom heads to Cantor's place. Wait a damn minute. How the f did he know where to go? Movie logic, who cares? On the other side, Peters or maybe Cantor hooks the weapon to the main server and uploads a virus that will wipe everyone out. Tom sneaks in and grabs the guy's gun, shoots him, and somehow the gun forgets it has recoil. Nice one, Hollywood physics. Tom goes further into the house, finds Cantor, and tries to talk him out of killing more people. Plot twist again, Cantor's in full Thanos mode, ready to wipe everyone. He uploads the virus, pops a cyanide pill, and dies. Tom takes control of Peters' bot and asks Bobby, the fat dude, how to stop the virus. Bobby says, disable every bot in the world. Wait, so the FBI can nuke all bots worldwide? Not just American ones? Try that on Chinese or Russian bots. Please, let's end the wars. Anyway, Bobby guides Tom through the complex process. It's not as simple as hitting enter. You have to punch in the passwords and then hit enter. Eventually, every bot gets disabled. The world now looks like Judgment Day. Bobby tells Tom they need to stop the virus now. Question, if you could stop the virus, why did you have him disable all the bots in the first place, you monumental doofus? Whatever. Bobby walks them through it again, they enter the password, hit enter, but Tom says, nah, we're better off without bots. Bang! Tom gets shot in the head. Every bot's brain fries. Tom walks out. The world is a fried, botless wasteland. He goes back home, hugs his wife, and that's all, folks. See you in the next stupidity.